Go.
Okay, the Crista Galli is here, which projects from the cribriform plate of the ethmoid bone. The cribriform plate, passes the small olfactory nerve fibers pass through those holes, which you can find on the inside here. Now your sutures, you have your coronal suture here, which is your frontal and parietal bone, and then your sagittal I know where it is. Oh, sagittal is here, which is the two parietal bones. Your lambdoid suture is here, which is your parietal bone and occipital bone. And the squamous suture is here, which is the mastoid process of the temporal with the regional mastoid angle of the parietal bone. Next is your facial bones. You have your maxilla, which is here, your nasal, which is here, your zygomatic is here, which the zygomatic process is the temporal bone and the temporal process of the zygomatic process. Then you have ethmoid, which is on the inner of the eye here. And then you have vomer, which is on the inner. If you go inside, it's going to be on the inner part of the nasal inside, which is two bones from the bony nasal septum, which is the vomer and the ethmoid. The inferior nasal concha, which is the form the nasal cavities. They hold open the important passages, easing the flow of the air into the nose for breathing and the outflow of deoxygenated air. Then you have your mandible, which is here. So you have your body, your ramus, the notch, the coronoid process, and the angle. Next, we're going to move to the vertebrae column, which is here. So first you have your cervical vertebrae, which is 7 altogether. And your two primary are your thoracic and sacral, and your two secondary are the cervical and lumbar. So after your cervical, the atlas is the superior articulate facet on the axis vertebrae, which is at C2. 7 of those, if I didn't say that already. And what is unique about the transverse process of the cervical vertebrae is that it has the transverse, the foramina, the bifid spinous process tips, and it overlaps vertical bodies. Next, you have your thoracic vertebrae, which is 12 altogether. You have your spinous process, which is here first, then the transverse process, then the intervertebral disc, and then the intervertebral foramen. Then you have your lumbar, which is here, 5 of those, and the sacrum, which is infused with 5 sacral vertebrae, and then your coccyx, which is here. Then we'll turn around to your sternum, which is here. All right, so this is your sternum, your manubrium, is here. This is the manubrium. The body is here. The xiphoid process is here. And the jugular notch is up here. Next are your ribs. So your 1 through 7 are your true ribs. Then you have your false ribs and your floating ribs, which are here. Each rib articulates with an individual vertebrae, which you can see in the back. They're each individually connected to a vertebrae. And that is all for the axial skeleton.